Okay. Let's get into the debacle that we just witnessed on screen. And I hate to say we told you so. I hate to say we told you so. But we have been isolating some of these problems for this season and maybe longer. However, TJ, I wasn't anticipating this. I wasn't anticipating what we saw across the trenches. Undisciplined.
Damn right.
They almost everybody except Andrew Marsh, Barham, and a couple others stayed on the plane. That's what it looked like. TJ, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think, look, all right, well, first of all, look, I predicted USC to win. F me. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, you know, and here's why. Here's why I did.
I did too, by the way.
John, yeah, but here's why. And to your point, John, we didn't get one sack. Our front seven did not generate one sack on Maeva. Not one. Our offensive line against USC's soft defensive line, and don't give me, oh, well, they get sacks. They had 17 going to the game. We have 15. I brought this up on Thursday night show. Everyone was all about, oh, well, USC's pass rush is aggressive. It's good. They got 17 on the year. They're ranked like, I don't know, top 8 in the nation. We have 15. It wasn't that great of a difference. And on top of that, the teams that USC played are embarrassing, quite honestly. But at the end of the day, I can't talk about it. They just waxed us. I mean, the truth of the matter is, John, there is a top-down problem on this team. Now, one of the things too I want to make sure we hit on, because I like to be on Twitter and I like to talk with the community and like watch the game with you guys. I enjoy that, even if we disagree. Some people were like, oh, well, I mean, we have a talent problem. We don't have a talent. We have a talent problem at one position, but that's actually not even as severe as it was, because Andrew Marsh is balling out. Okay. Andrew Marsh had 8 receptions for 138 yards and 1 touchdown in his second game starting as a true freshman. Donovan McCulley's he's solid. Maybe if Bryce would have a little more touch on his throws, McCulley could have did more. But at the end of the day, it's not a talent issue. What we are dealing with is a coaching issue. Wink Martindale's scheme right now is getting chewed up. And not only is it getting chewed up, the back end of this defense that does have talent it's undisciplined. There's gaps all over the place. John, there was a play towards, I think it was the third or fourth quarter, I'm not sure. We had 3 defenders go in the same gap. That's undisciplined football. That means you don't know what you're doing. You're getting confused out there. And coaches hate this all the time. You have players trying to do more than their responsibility, which creates bigger issues at the end of the day. And if that is the case, maybe it is. Maybe the players are taking liberties trying to make a play because you're trying to do things on your own because you can't even trust your teammate. That's when by the way, when that happens, you have a real problem. That means you don't trust your teammates. You don't trust your coaches. And that is why we got waxed today the way we did. We lost 31-13. Embarrassing. Sharon Moore, John, I think we should put a poll in the chat. I know you're handling a lot behind the scenes right now. If we could put a poll in the chat, just simply put a poll that says, are you in or are you out on Sharon Moore? Yes or no? I would love to know where the read's at. I have a feeling a lot of people are out. I know there are some people out there saying you got to give Sharon Moore some more time and all of that. I'm of the opinion it doesn't really matter. Sharon's getting another year. I know he is. Now his buyout, I hate to even go down this road so early. I'd like to go into this later in the show, but F it. Sharon Moore's buyout's $4 million right now because he's in year 2 of his contract. The boosters could easily handle this. Now, don't get me wrong, and we need to be very aware of what I'm about to say here. What is the ripple effect? What does that mean for the players currently on the team like Bryce Underwood and others? So it really needs to be a careful approach. But that said, let's transition on this game and not worry about that. Yeah. This coaching staff is letting these players down. It is so, but the players are letting the coaches down too. It is definitely symbiotic, balanced, and mutual because the players are not making plays. They're not wrapping up. They played football their whole lives. It's sloppy. It's undisciplined. Yeah. It is the worst. This is the truth. What I'm about to say. This is crazy as hell, man. It is the most undisciplined we have played, I'm going to give you 2 times. 1, 2020. We all agree that was an embarrassing season. Brady Hoke era.
Yeah.
That is where we
That's
are.
why I'm wearing this, folks, because that's what this reminds me of, folks.
2012, there you go.
Team 133, 2012 and beyond with the Brady Hoke era. That's where we are as a program. But let's kind of dive into each piece.
Let's do it.
Shall we? Let's start with the offense, because I will say that there were 2 bright spots. And I want to give everyone a little bit of sunshine before we get to a lot of rain. I think Andrew Marsh and McCauley are legit. I think there is a slight ray of hope with Andrew Marsh. I think his ceiling is limitless. But the problem is a couple of things. One, it's tough when you have obviously a line that looks like a sieve. USC was manhandling Michigan's line. Bryce didn't throw well today at times. Like, he was throwing off target at times today, which that messes up the entire offense. Michigan should have been able to go blow for blow with USC, in my opinion.
Easy. Yes.
In my opinion, because you saw it in that final touchdown that Michigan did to bring it up to 13. That's what I was hoping to see all game. Andrew Marsh getting open, scheming him open, getting him the football. Or a big run play, whatever. But I think the line had a lot to do with it. But aside from Andrew Marsh and McCauley, and I guess Bryce sometimes, it just felt, Haynes, it felt like most of them stayed on the plane, or they stayed in Ann Arbor mentally. And people were talking about the time zones, and I've traveled my whole life, and 3 hours is nothing compared to the jet lag of going overseas or anything else.
100%.
I don't think that was an excuse.
Yeah, it was.
No, Europe's real jet lag. 3 hours is nothing, and these guys should have been ready. No excuse. TJ, what did you think about the offense, and what do you think was the main issue that was kind of preventing them from big plays aside from that touchdown?
The biggest is, so I'm not mad at Chip Lindsey's play calling. I'm mad at the offensive line's ability to protect Bryce Underwood tonight. Okay. I mean, how many sacks did USC even have? They only had 3 sacks, but there was tons of pressure. Bryce was never really comfortable. Haynes looked freaking fantastic in the beginning of this game. Marsh played all right. So let me just say this before I go in. The only players who deserve no blame tonight, there's only 3. It's Jordan Marshall, it's Justice Haynes, and it's Andrew Marsh. Everybody else on this team and coaching staff deserves blame tonight. There's only 3, in my opinion, who don't deserve blame. But it's the play calling was not the issue for me. It's the inability of this offensive line to protect Bryce and get this ball moving. And then I'll be honest. I mean, look, there were some throws that Bryce was just not on tonight.
I agree.
Like, he threw one into the ground. He threw, the one that was, the one for which, by the way, the 2-point conversion. I don't even love that idea. Just make it a 10-point game. Make it what is that 2 points going to do for you? You're going to make it a 9-point game?
Yeah.
You're going to make it a 9-point game?
A 10-point game means you need a touchdown and a field goal.
Yeah, the reason why they wanted to make it a 9-point game is because if they fucking score, they can get two touchdowns and 2-point conversions and make it a 2-score game. I understand that going for 2 just shows you zero trust in the defense. And if you have zero trust in the defense, Sharon, my guy, Sharon, this is who you got for your defensive line in the portal. You got the Trey Williams and the Deron Paynes. You didn't go get it. You didn't go get a Josiah Stewart. You didn't go get these extra guys to give you a little more oomph. You trusted the Derek. And then where was the Jay Sean Barham and Derek Moore, TJ Guy? There was no pressure. Not what stick to the offense. So I'm now rambling. But the point being is, if we look at the offense here, John, total yards 316, 207 yards passing. But here's the thing: 2 and 9 on third down. You're never going to win going 2 for 9. Not against a team like USC who was 6 for 12, 50%. 2 interceptions, turnovers are obviously going to kill you. And here's another thing that's really interesting, and it wasn't this way early, but yards per rush only 3.5. Just not good enough at all at the end of the day. When we look at the players, I mean, Marshall had a good game. Haynes had a good game. Underwood did not. Like, guys, drops was not the issue. Let's just call it what it is. Underwood did not have a good game. Underwood did not play well today. But the offensive line didn't play well. I do put the blame more on offensive line than Underwood, but after offensive line, it's got to go Underwood tonight, bro. I thought the receivers were there for him. I do think Samaj Morgan's a liability. They need to figure out somebody else that they could put out there with McCauley and Marsh. I don't know where Hogan Hansen and Marlon Klein were. Where they at? What's going on there? You know,
except for committing false starts.
But what was that based off of a shot? Now I remember. Was
Marlon Klein? It was a very small shift, and like in my opinion, that there were a few ticky tack calls. Still, I mean, I'm not pointing out reffing as the reason we lost. Let me be very clear. There were a few ticky tack calls though.
Here's the other issue, John. Can we just call what it is? Can we all just say the elephant in the room? We are not the bully on the field anymore. We are not. That means Sharon has failed the team. We are not being the team. We are the ones getting pushed, which is insane because USC has been getting pushed. If anyone watched some of the USC games, they were not impressive. Okay, they were not. The offense is impressive. Offense is extremely talented, very good. We know this. We were all aware of this, right? But we are no longer the disciplined, physical team on the field anymore. Unacceptable. And to be quite honest with you, that reason alone should be enough to tell you we have a situation at head coach, and it really needs our attention. It really needs our attention. And is Michigan going to fire Sherrone Moore today? They're not. And to be honest with you, I'm a very firm believer that Sherrone Moore is going to coach next season. Yes. I do believe if next season is anything like this season, he is gone. That's where I'm at on that. Now, I will say $4 million really isn't a lot of money for what Michigan's got some serious boosters around them. It isn't just Larry. I learned of another one over the weekend. There's another billionaire in the circle. There's another billionaire in the circle. So it isn't just Ellison. It's, and Portnoy apparently is is involved as well. Like and it's more than them. Like obviously there's multiple. But one of them's a real estate mogul from my understanding. So, yeah, I'll tell you off the air, John. But okay. Yeah, so I mean it's interesting. So that's where we are. We are no longer the disciplined physical team on the field, which was our identity. And just because our offensive system changed, it doesn't mean that has to change because you can run a power spread. And I know that because my Detroit Lions run that. We are the most physical team on the field and we run a power spread. And there's nothing, and I'm not saying I'm not saying Michigan needs to be the Lions. They don't. But I do know for a fact Sherrone Moore is trying to get that balance off offensive attack where you can also run it and throw it and have a power run game. He wants a spread offense with a power run game. He's said it many times in his press conferences. It is what it is. I don't think Lindsey's a terrible offense. I really don't. Like if I had to rank my coaches, who to blame, Sharon's number one. Head coach gets the most blame. Okay. Yep. I think Wink Martindale gets second most blame. JB Brown, really, you get third, but get the fuck off my team, bro. Get out of here. You're garbage. The punting's terrible. The special teams is terrible. You bring nothing to this team, respectfully, bro. I know you work hard. I know you have a family. I know all that, so I do respect that. But go to Eastern Michigan.
The punting is terrible.
Go to the mat.
Even Zvada has regressed this year because of that.
Even Zvada. Go to Ferris. Get out of D1. Zavada has regressed this year. You're right, John. Get the fuck out of here. You're fired, bro. I'm sorry. Like you're just. It is what it is. JB Brown, get out of here. I'd fire you yesterday. So that's where I'm at. And then in terms of like positional coaches, Grant Newsom, I'm sorry, brother. I don't know what you're bringing to the program outside of being a Michigan alum. Mm-hmm. Go to the Chargers. I know Jim loves you. Go to the Chargers, bro. I know he loves you. Go to the Chargers. Go on your way.
Yeah.
I can't even blame Ron Bellamy right now. I'm not even mad at Ron Bellamy. But yeah, Grant Newsom, get out of here. That's where we are, man. And like, I don't like this. Like I love my team. I love my team. I don't even like talking bad about this stuff. But it is what it is. We're not going to lie to you. And I know all of you are frustrated. I've seen it on Twitter. I've interacted with many of you, and I see you in the chat. It's not good enough. At the end of the day, here's another thing too, John, and we'll get into the defense here in a minute too. But
yeah,
the fans. Here's the truth. The fans will hold the standard here. Okay. If the administration won't, Ward Manuel, I'm looking at you. The fans will. And if anyone tells you, and I know there are some people in the media in Michigan, no names, who will tell you the fans' voice doesn't matter, they're wrong. They couldn't be more fucking wrong. And I'm going to tell you right now, if the fans hold the administration accountable publicly, now it doesn't mean be an asshole, but it means like, apply the pressure and be honest about it. Yeah, I do think changes could be had. And at the end of the day too, and I almost don't want to say this, your dollar is your vote. Okay. Now, that does, I really don't want people to not support our team and our program, because you should. I mean, we love Michigan, but at the end of the day, at least communicate your disapproval in a respectful manner, in my approach here. Okay. Or in my opinion. Okay. So, but just at the end of the day, also, like, and I'm not saying don't show up to games, because that's terrible. Like, I don't believe in that. I mean, I do for like pro teams like the Lions or like the Tigers or the Red Wings, especially the Tigers, you assholes. Anyways, they broke my heart. But our boys, I don't necessarily believe not showing up for me. Like, I don't, but at the end of the day, like, I think the fans need to, I think it's okay for the fans to be upset. And I think it's okay for the fans to voice their disapproval of this shit. This isn't good enough. The standard has to be higher. And Sharon, and I'll say this, they know this, but they're not meeting it. And that's the problem. You got to meet. It's a results business at the end of the day.
Very true. Just to kind of finish up on the offense, like I said, I will say this. The pass game, and like you said, Ron Bellamy and what they're doing with Andrew Marsh and McCauley, I think there's something going well there. But here's the problem. The line protection in both pass pro and run pro failed today. I mean, I'm not even going to say it was mediocre. It failed today. USC should not have been able to manhandle Michigan's line the way that they did. And like there weren't a ton of explosive runs. We had 109 total rushing yards, and 3.5 yards per rush is not the Michigan standard. Maybe part of it's Haynes got out, but like Jordan Marshall is talented, but they can only do so much when they can't get open, when the line isn't creating the holes for them. So I do think Grant Newsome has to go. I actually think that 100%. Focus on recruiting, stop coaching. Sharon Moore coach the O-line the rest of the season. I'm done. Like, he needs to be done coaching.
Not gonna happen, but I hear you. Yeah.
Like, Sharon Moore was a far and away better O-line coach. Like, he can do it for the rest of this season and then hire somebody really good. Grant Newsome's not that guy.
Yeah, I mean, the reality, but how sad is it that we need Sharon to focus on the O-line? Because here's the other thing too. I want to say this. It's true to say Michigan has looked better in games Sharon hasn't coached. It's a fair statement. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not gonna, like, it's the truth. As much as like that seems, well, they put against Central and Nebraska. Yeah, they did. But then we put against Wisconsin, who's worse than Nebraska, and we looked like shit. Undisciplined, unfundamental again. And then here we are now going against USC, who really is not elite, guys. We made USC look way better than they are. Way better than they are. They're not that good. And isn't a talent. This is not a talent problem. Do you think Indiana has more talent than we do? We don't. But they have a better coach than we do. So their team looks...
How about Illinois, who beat USC? Do we think Illinois is better?
Thank you. You think Illinois has more talent than Michigan? No.
What?
It's that they were prepared for that game better. This team is not prepared. All right, I'm just going to say it. Fuck it. Someone might clip this. Sharon Moore is not a head coach. He's just not. But guess what? We're stuck with him right now. And it's where we are. It's just what it is, man. He's not. He doesn't. Sharon Moore does not know how to game plan for a game like this. He just doesn't. I know he's had his moments. Penn State, great. Ohio State did a great job. The Alabama game, wonderful. Thank you, Weather. You helped. You know, and It's not, and it's not. But here's the truth of the matter: is Sharon Moore. It's not that he's not ready to be a head coach. He's ready to be a head coach, but not at Michigan. He's ready to be a head coach at a Group of 5 school. He needs to get his teeth. He needs to get his fucking. He needs experience. He needs to learn on a lower level. He is not ready for a blue blood top 5 program. And if you're a Buckeye, F you, top 10, whatever. It's really top 5 though. Top 5 job in the nation. And Michigan is a top 5 job in the nation. He's not ready for that. It's too much. It's too big for him. It is what it is. I hope to be wrong here. I hope to be wrong, but I'm not.
So I'll just touch on this before we get to the defense. There have been some fans who have given us some heat for our criticism about Sharon Moore. I see it in every comment section.
I know.
And here's the thing.
I know.
I hate to be right. I hate that we're right, that what we noticed about the team being undisciplined, looking lethargic, especially in the beginning of games.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what happened with USC today. Lincoln Riley coaching that team. Look at what they did after a bye week compared to what we did after a bye week. Look at what USC did. They used their bye week. They prepared. They came out swinging. They came out with a strong game plan, and every aspect of their team looked better than it did 2 weeks ago. That's what a good head coach does.
Great point.
And
great point,
Sharon Moore is not a great head coach right now, except for Ohio State. For whatever reason, he gets up for Ohio State.
Because he's in Ryan Day's head. Can we just be honest? Ryan Day, look, Michigan beat them because Ryan Day tried out Michigan last year. Okay? It's just but Ohio State's not built, was not built to be like Michigan. The Ohio State fans will tell you the same thing. You know what I mean? End of the day, Sharon Moore is ready to be a head coach, but he's not ready to be a head coach at a school like Michigan. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Well, but here we are. But here we are, man.
I will say, and this actually segues well into defense, Wink Martindale had a good game plan for Ryan Day. He was bracketing, and he was actually trying. He was eliminating Jeremiah Smith from the equation. Jeremiah Smith barely did anything in the second half, and the only times he did anything in the first half, he was committing OPI over and over. So the point is, I actually thought today the defense. Wink's decision making has been better, but I think execution was the worst part of what I saw. Terrible tackling. I mean, awful tackling. And I'm looking at you, Braden Hillman. Dude. I'm looking at you, Braden Hillman. You suck today. Look, thank you for being a Michigan Wolverine. You got to step it up because we're about to play Washington. They're hard. We're going to be playing Maryland. They're hard. We're going to be playing Ohio State. You can't whiff on tackles like that, man.
We're about to play Northwestern. They're taking down Penn State, man.
They're taking down Penn State.
I'm messing on that one, but
yeah, we'll probably
we lose. How much we lose to Northwestern? We're doing a march in Ann Arbor. We're wearing Fire More shirts. I don't even give a shit. Like, we're gonna start a damn rally in Ann Arbor. We'll figure it out, bro. That is not gonna happen. I'm not letting that happen. Yeah, man. I mean, just it's disappointing. The team, why are we not wrapping up? Like, why are we still not wrapping up?
Yeah, the lack of wrap up is terrible.
And then, John, I'm sorry. And then you know what's funny is okay, the drops were better. Well, yeah, because Samaj isn't getting the ball as much, and you're throwing it to Andrew Marsh, who can catch the ball.
Jair Hill missed tackles today. Sanders missed tackles today. I got them over and over.
Where was Browder? Why didn't he get any run today? And if he did, I missed it. Chat, let me know in the chat. Did Browder get any run? Because I didn't see him out there.
I figured they'd use Samaj. I figured there's something about Samaj they just love, and I knew they were going to stick with him. And I said that to multiple people when they asked. Like, I didn't think we were going to see much Browder. And that's exactly what I feared. Because for whatever reason, Sharon Moore has this attachment to certain players, certain coaches, Ron Bellamy, Grant Newsome.
Damn.
And it needs to stop. and we need to play the best players. Now they finally did that with Andrew Marsh. Great decision. I said that. Great decision with Andrew Marsh. Got to do the same thing with Samaj Morgan. Find the best player at slot. That needs to be the slot receiver against the rest of the season. But anywho, back to defense. Like I said, tackling. There were just so many misses. So much just terrible coverages. USC was good, but they were beatable on offense. It's not like they were the best offense we've ever seen in our lives. They executed well, and there were multiple plays that you can't defend. Like, there were multiple perfect balls that you can't defend. The only thing you could do is to commit a penalty to stop it. Like, there were a few of those, right? But there were also plenty that we were just whiffing on our coverages. We were whiffing on tackles. We were going to the wrong direction. Like you said, the three guys go. People didn't know what to do. That is on Wink. So while I think Wink's play calling wasn't actually horrible today, I think the execution, that also has to be on the DC, right? And the various position coaches. A couple of bright spots, Zeke Berry, interception, right? Great job. Zeke Berry being back. I said that was going to make a difference. We didn't see a lot of Rod Moore today, although you did see he was kind of acting as the quarterback of the defense, kind of getting everyone set. We did see that, but not a lot of impact like last week. But overall, it looked undisciplined. They didn't know what they were doing. That's on coaching. That's on the coaching staff.
Yeah, and listen, here's the other issue with the defense, okay? Where's the sacks? Where's the pressure? Like, what are we doing? And when I talked about this on Thursday, I was like, well, of the things the issues with Michigan, one thing that I know that we're not going to improve because we don't have the talent, and that is the push up the middle, and we just don't have it. We do not have the defensive tackles who can get push up the middle. Rayshawn Bennett is the only one, and he's not even getting it enough. And then the other thing too is, has our defense not seen a screen before? Like, why the F are we getting burned so hard on wide receiver screens? And here's another thing too. I don't know this answer, and I will see if I can find out. Does Michigan have a sign guy anymore? Because we are getting our ass kicked. They know what we're running. We don't know what they're running. USC, they knew when we blitzed. They knew what to audible into. They knew exactly what to go into. That's why our defense was getting gashed. They were ready for that shit. Yeah, man. I mean, it's the defense, the back seven it's undisciplined. There's still a lot of gaps. We're not getting pressure. We're not wrapping up. I'm still not understanding why Cole Sullivan's not out there full time. I don't understand that. I know Rolder's looking okay.
He's looking okay.
But
he didn't look
Cole Sullivan needs to be out there full time, bro.
In the first USC drive, he had a couple of major misses that helped contribute to that first touchdown. Rolder did. Rolder did.
Oh, Rolder?
Jimmy Rolder. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I mean, it's just so at the end of the day, John, are you ready to go into a full conclusion here? I mean, I guess let me make sure I'm not missing that side of things. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
Passing, USC only got 265 yards on us. That's not insane, not great. Rushing. Here's what we're not used to. You guys ready for this? They ran 224 yards on us. That's not Michigan football. Michigan football holds you to under 80. Okay? And you might get 100 if you happen to get lucky. You know what I mean? That's Michigan football. This is just not it. It's not it. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not it. Not it. You know it is too. I'm not telling you that you don't know. Most of you already know this. You're saying, I know. It's ridiculous, bro. And then let's see, anything else, any players, or let's look at the players here. Ernest Hausman, he led the team in tackles.
He looked fine.
He looked okay. I mean, team just isn't.
Derek Moore looked okay. He had a couple of
but he didn't get to the quarterback. We're not getting to the quarterback, bro. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, John,
or we're getting to the quarterback too late, and he's already thrown the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. So with USC 31, Michigan 13, USC was favored by 2.5, according to FanDuel, who's another one of our sponsors. Thank you very much, FanDuel. Get yourself $5, 300 in bonus bets if you win. Bet responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. But anyway, FanDuel said that this was the score, and I think we just need to circle back to the fact that 76%, or 75 now, 75% of our community says they are out on Sharon Moore, and I'm getting very close, and I think he needs a lot of help. I don't like what I'm seeing. Sharon Moore did look a little bit more animated today on the sidelines at times. I saw him talking to the refs. I did see one thing I really liked, which was calling the timeout, except that play that he called the timeout on, that was very clearly, in my opinion, a catch. So, hey, maybe last week would have been a great time to do that with that Andrew Marsh play where he was obviously getting the first. But I'm glad he's at least trying to challenge. My guess is someone got on his ass about that. Maybe it was the boosters. Maybe it was Ward. I don't know. Someone got on his ass because he did it today, and I think he wanted to show the boosters or whatever, hey, I can do this. But it just looks like on-the-job training. It looks like a G5 head coach.
That's right. That's what it is. We have a coach who should. That's right. We have a coach who's ready to be a head coach, but not at Michigan.
Yeah,
that's what it is, man.
It's not good. It's not good. And look, part of me is like, okay, it's only 2 losses, but like the way that this loss happened, it was just. This is a 7-5 team. I'm sorry to tell you, this is a 7-5 team again.
I don't know.
Maybe 8-4.
You think so?
Okay. Who are we going to beat? We're going to beat Northwestern, probably Michigan State, probably Purdue, probably. There's 3 more wins. Who else?
I think the only teams we're going to lose to is I think Ohio State. I think we're going to beat Washington. I do. I don't think Washington's special. I think we're going 9-3, like my original prediction.
I'd love that, but
I think so.
This could have. But here's what drives me nuts.
Yeah.
This year, with this talent, and then you get a couple more people from the portal than you did, right? Especially on the lines and on receiver. And this is a playoff team that could have made a deep playoff run. And this is what breaks my heart. Bryce Underwood's first year is most likely going to be wasted. And we're going to be in the fucking Pop-Tarts Bowl or some type ReliaQuest again, or some type of who gives a shit bowl, instead of the playoffs where Michigan should be. Michigan should be in the playoffs this year. But it's coaching ineptitude. It's just one bad decision after another bad decision, and you're letting down the guys. You're letting down the talent. This team is talented. We have the number 1 quarterback in the country in the class of 2026. We have multiple good receivers. I think McCauley, Andrew Marsh, great receivers. Right? There's good people on defense. There is real talent on this team. Rob Moore's still here. We're wasting Rob Moore's last year. That's shameful. Like this team has the talent to do it, and okay.
Yeah, this team. No, but John, go on, John. Go ahead. Finish your point.
Let me just ask you one question. And then go.
Yeah.
Kurt Cignetti coaching this team. What do you think the record would be?
Fuck yeah, dude. I was. Kirk Cignetti's coaching this team right now. We're probably undefeated, and if we're not undefeated, we are definitely only at 1 loss. And this team will be a playoff team. I mean, all right. I was talking to Juju before the game. Indiana looks hot. Indiana looks and plays like Michigan when Harbaugh was here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well coached, well disciplined, physical.
Really physical.
He's a good fucking coach. Animated, fiery, fucking Kirk Cinetti's the man, bro. And I'm gonna tell you now, if anyone doesn't like Kirk Cinetti, that's a you problem. That's a good coach, man. I know he's cocky. I know all that shit. I know he had the quote where he was like, he goes, the lady was like, "What do you tell recruits?" He goes, "I win. Google me." And he fucking does, though, dude. Shout out to Kirk Cinetti. I mean, he's just a good coach, man. I would love to have him. I would love to have him. I would, if I was like, so I wish. I mean, I wish I had some FU money like the Ellisons, but and they got the most FU money of anybody. But man, I wish I had like a Billy, because I'd pay for Sharon Moore's. I would pay for Sharon Moore's buyout, and I'd be like, I'd go to Signetti. I'd be like, brother, here's the deal. I'm gonna make you the highest paid head coach in football, and I'm gonna give you all the resources you need to build this thing into a juggernaut. And let's fucking go. I got the backing of the Ellisons. I got the backing of other donors. We're good. Let's get it, But I don't. I'm here with you boys, so we're gonna make it work. So I want to give a shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out to a Spartan, because I'm gonna give a shout out. Me and him going at it today. Tooley, what's up, bro? I'm not mad at you. He's a Spartan. Here's why I'm gonna give him a shout out, because a lot of Spartans wouldn't have the balls to even come here and talk. So shout out to you, Tooley. I know you're having a tough day. We're having a tough day. Enjoy the show, my guy. Finally get a Spartan here. I've been trying to get a Spartan on this show for the longest time. We get a bunch of Buckeyes and Penn State fans. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, John, we have a coaching staff that appears to be not doing it. Just they're not meeting the standard. They're not meeting the standard. But the reality is, I really wonder how the boosters are feeling about this. But the reality is the administration, Ward and co, they're not gonna move. They're not gonna be aggressive. They're just not. But
they're not.
The fans should voice disapproval, man.
Sharon could go 6-6 this year and he'll be coaching next year. He's not going anywhere. And it's because Michigan doesn't care about being elite. They just want to follow the rules. The administration, they just want to go along to get along. I don't know if you've heard about what's going on with this funding, this private funding that's been discussed, and how Ohio State and Michigan are now considering it, even though it would help every other school.
No, I didn't know they were considering. I thought they were the two schools that were against it. Oh no,
they are, but they're warming up. They're considering it now.
I don't like it.
I still don't know if it'll happen.
You lose. Don't you lose control over your own branding?
You lose control over, right? Yeah. So yeah, and you give everyone else more of a playing field, even though some of those schools went against us during the signs thing.
Bitches. Maybe Notre Dame was right, man. Independent was the way. Anyways, fucking leprechauns. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hopefully not. I don't like that private equity shit with my. I definitely don't need it. It's a public institution. We have tax. How can you put private equity into it? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just the athletics, which I guess would potentially be separate, because the athletics operate as a separate entity than the university. I don't know. Maybe my guy GT knows the answer there. I know he's savvy in that area.
The point is, our administration isn't going to fire Sharon because he goes 9-3.
No, because we have an AD
8-4 even.
We have a yes man for an AD, man. We know that. We all know that.
And Sharon is a convenient fall guy for, like, he's essentially a convenient person to coach the team through the scandal, through everything else. He was an easy hire. He was somebody, though. I mean, to be fair, most people wanted him, right? The players wanted him. The fans, a lot of the fans wanted him. And part of it's because of how he interim coached. But guess what? He interim coached with some fire. He interim coached with some passion. He interim coached. I thought he did fairly well. He played conservative, but I think he injected him. That's what I was expecting to see. And instead, we're getting this zombie who I don't know what he's doing during the week. I don't know what's happening during the week of practice. I think they all just went and tanned and like it just feels like they did nothing to truly prepare for especially the line play. Grant Newsome, what the hell is he doing? Right?
Yeah, we got smacked in the face.
Lines.
I mean, listen, I don't want to say like, we sleepwalking? I mean, I'm not there. I mean, the boys obviously look, they came to play, but it wasn't good enough. And their approach is not enough, man. I mean,
right.
Sharon is just, guys, he's not experienced enough to do this. He's just not. You know, he's just not. He's relying on Chip Lindsey and Wink Martindale to do their jobs because he's not the expert there, right? He's an O-line expert. He's an O-line expert, and he's a people person who works extremely hard by all accounts. By all accounts, he works extremely hard, right? Yeah, I got that fucking Spartan's all mad and shit. He's all crying. Just so you know, when we play you, we're gonna rub your fucking nose in it, bro. I'm just letting you know, Thule. Take that, bro. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna, even though we lost to USC, we're gonna smack you around. But yeah, so I mean, like at the end of the day, they're just not ready, John. They're the coaching staff, Sharon. I mean, look here, but guess what? Sharon Moore, guess what? He gets an opportunity to prove us wrong next week. So all the shit we're saying, prove us wrong. Prove me. I want to be wrong, Sharon. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. I want to come on here and be like, you know what, boys? Your boy don't know shit. Sharon's the king. Sharon runs this conference. He just whooped Ryan Day's ass again. We're in the playoffs. All that. But at the end of the day, it don't look that way because here's the deal. You know what? Why am I even trying to like look at the other side? Here's the reality. Guess what? We look poorly coached. We lack fundamentals. We're not polished. We're not disciplined. We're not ready. Why is our defense getting walked on the first drive of every game? The boys aren't ready. We're not prepared. We're not prepared. We're not prepared.
Drive, like you look at it and it's just missed tackles. Jimmy Rolder, Jair Hill gets beat for the touchdown, although there's argument that was OPI, which I think even the commentators were saying it was OPI, offensive pass interference on that. But still, like they were just doing whatever they wanted on the ground, in the air, whether it was the D-line just allowing whatever, whether it was the secondary, they were doing whatever they wanted for the most part all game, with the exception of the interception and a few really good plays. The defense wasn't there. The defense stayed in Ann Arbor. So I think it's just it starts at the top. It has to start at the top with the accountability for the head coach. It has to. I'm done.
Of course. No, 100% it does. No, 100%. Of course it does. It all falls at the head coach. I mean, there's 100%. But I want to give a shout out here to my Spartan friend Thule. We're talking about the Mel Tucker scandal, bro. How's Mel Tucker doing? Let us know. Anyways, so yeah, man. I mean, it's where we are. It's where we are, unfortunately. And here's the other thing too that's I'm sure frustrating to Michigan fans. Yes, Johnny Olden. I see why you were worried, brother. You were right. TJ was wrong. I was very confident. Thursday, I was like, we're going to beat these dudes. What did I say, 31-20? Wrong. I was wrong. I mean, I thought
I was wrong too.
I thought we'd out physical him, man. I thought
we'd pull it out 31-24. I thought Michigan would pull it out based on the physicality, but USC had that today. USC beat Michigan in the trenches.
Hey, John, here's something that's messed up. And if you have children around, cover their ears. We were the bitch on the field today. We were the bitch on the field today, bro. We were USC's bitch, bro. I don't like that. That's disgusting. It's disgusting.
And there are people who say, "Well, it's only Sharon's second year. You've got to give him some grace." How long did it take Harbaugh to get good? I need to remind people. Everyone should rewind to 5-6 years into Harbaugh's tenure when I was not happy with him either. Equally, okay, but that's beside the point. The point is, this isn't where you learn how to be a head coach. This is where you come in already knowing what to do, who to hire, And now we're in a situation, TJ, where if you fire Sharon Moore, everyone could leave. That's the danger. And then you have to start from complete scratch, and then you better absolutely nail it on the coaching hire, right? And that's why I think they're definitely giving him at least one more year to keep the team mostly intact.
Yeah, listen. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Like, you know what I mean? Sharon's coming back next year.
Absolutely.
They're giving him another year. He's going to get another year. Now, if he performs like this next year, he's gone. That's the reality. So we better hope they get it together because we are along for the ride. And the positive is we should be bringing in a bunch of talent still. Like, there's going to be a bunch of talent. We have the financial capability. The good news is you have freshmen performing. You don't think players see Andrew Marsh getting eight receptions for 130 yards and a touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
It's a damn shame Andrew Babalola got hurt because players would see him playing well, right? You got Underwood, who's a freshman. You got Jaden Sanders. You got these freshmen playing. Kids are going to want to come here. The financial resources are there. That's like it's like 70% of the game. So the truth is, like, here's the fucking truth. Sharon, we better hope Sharon figures it out because we're stuck with it. That's just what it is, man. I mean, I can't frame it any other way. It's just what it is. You know, it's just what it is, man.
So yeah, and the thing is, like, I understand it. It's very tough to evaluate this because on the one hand, it's like he needs more time. Well, we have the portal. There's this thing called the transfer portal. Signetti, his first year, he raids the portal and he brings in his guys from JMU, and he goes 11-1 his first year as head coach of the Indiana. Now, granted, he's had like 3 stops in lower level leagues, right, and divisions before he got to Indiana. But like, that's what we need. Need somebody who's going to come in, use the portal for the holes that the team has. We said it for a year: wide receiver and line. And like, you're still trotting Samaj Morgan out there who's dropping balls and who's committing penalties. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And that's coaching. I think there's some bright spots because of the talent on the field, and I think some of the position coaches know what they're doing. But what we're seeing is a lack of discipline. What we're seeing is we're just staying home mentally instead of showing up at wherever we're supposed to play. So that's where I'm at. I'm very close to just being fully out on Sharon. I'm giving it.
John.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I'm playing with that same thought, man. Because like I made a post today that like I'm not out on Sharon Moore, but but he's got to be better. But I mean, it's hard to be in seeing what we're seeing. Now I understand there are people who are watching, and it's like, look, give Sharon Moore a little time. Okay, but the reason why I'm less optimistic is because the team is just playing so poor. I mean, we are at what's the week we're at now? 7?
Yeah.
We're at week 7, boys, and we look like we're week 1. We're not improving. We're not improving. Bad. We're not progressing. We are either plateauing or regressing in a lot of areas. Now I know, okay, you played a tougher opponent this week. We played better against Oklahoma. Man. I mean, I don't know.
You're right.
And like, not only that, like, and the reason why I'm frustrated, I'm sure other fans feel this way too. We just looked better when Sharon wasn't there. We did. We played better. We were cleaner. We were more fluid. We were more aggressive. So we just got to ride it out, boys. We just got to ride it out. And we got to be honest. Here's what we got to do. All right, to be honest, and then we can kind of get these super chats here, John.
Sure.
Or speak to our sponsors or whatever. But
yes, yeah,
we got to wait till Washington. Let's see how the boys respond. Let's see how Sharon Moore gets the boys to respond. That's going to be. I'm going to be real with you. That's going to be your biggest indicator on the reality of him long term or not. Does he get the boys to respond next week in Ann Arbor in front of home crowd, right? If he does, then that gives you hope. That's a light. That's a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, he's got the boys. They rallied. They understand they messed up. They're hungry. They're frustrated. That plane ride home tomorrow or tonight is going to suck for all of them. They're all hurting. I mean, Underwood's got an ankle that got rolled on. I mean, Haynes has got his side. They're all going through it. But how do they respond next week? That is going. I'm going to tell you right now. Next week game is probably one of the more critical things we're gonna witness in the Sharon Moore era, because it's going to tell us the reality of his long-term future at Michigan, in my opinion.
Yeah. I would like to see how they play the rest of the season. You're right. I would like to see how they play against Ohio State. I think that's going to be a big barometer too. Like, can they rally as they did last year for Ohio State? But I'm very disappointed that this looks like an 8-4, 9-3 team when the talent is there to go playoffs with a competent and more experienced head coach. And that's the really unfortunate part of all this. Look, like I said again, Lincoln Riley had his team ready today. He had his team fired up. He had his team executing pretty damn near flawlessly. They did commit a couple of penalties, but they were on the money with a lot of their throws. The defense looked like the best I've seen it look in Danton Lynn's tenure, and definitely the Grinch era. This looked like a really good USC defense. And it's like, wait a minute, this is USC defense. This is a team that let Illinois get like 500 offensive yards.
John, we had met. Now I was sick, so I didn't do the Tuesday show. But Matt Zemek was on, and Matt Zemek was talking about how he thinks Michigan's going to out-physical us.
Yeah,
we are the bitch, bro. Michigan was USC's bitch, bro. Don't like that. Don't like it at all.
It's true. Folks, I do want to just say one thing before we get to our sponsors. In chat, I am going to ask to cool it on any racism or any talk on racism, DEI, any of that shit. That's not what we're talking about. We are simply evaluating the decisions that were made, period. I don't want to hear the takes on that.
Kind of say this. If anyone thinks Sharon Moore's a DEI hire, you're fucking dumb. It's not. What Sharon Moore is, respectfully, and even though the topic's stupid, so it's not respectful at all, the reality is Jim Harbaugh co-signed Sharon Moore, and Jim Harbaugh gave his word that Sharon Moore was ready to be the next head coach, and that is why he's the next head coach in Michigan. Just so everybody is clear, this is Jim Harbaugh's endorsement. So if you want to know why Sharon Moore is the head coach in Michigan, because it was Jim Harbaugh's endorsement. And not only did it have Jim Harbaugh's endorsement, everyone believed Sharon Moore was ready. Administration and all that. So that DEI shit's dumb. So cut that the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's just a stupid thing. Now, if you're a Buckeye saying that shit, that's some Buckeye shit to say. But other than that, I mean, at the end of the day, he was Jim. Jim really believed in Jim Harbaugh. For those who don't know, true story. When Jim Harbaugh was working on his contract extension before the NCAA shit went wild, he wanted a clause in his contract that Sharon Moore was going to be the head coach in waiting. True fucking story. So get the DEI shit out of here. It does not apply. Does not apply.
Jim Harbaugh endorsed this hire, and it was because of his ability. And even Urban Meyer was saying good things about Sharon Moore's ability to handle head coach, offensive coordinator, offensive line. It wasn't just Harbaugh. It was the enemy or former enemy who was saying really glowing things. But the bottom line is this. Bottom line is that this is an L. It sucks. We're going to have
Hardo.
Washington on to Washington, and let's see if they rally.